Hi everyone, I'm Joanne Roberts and I'm at Winnipeg Comicon Day 3. I told you I would be back with some special guests, and today I'm joined by James Marsters. He's perhaps known for his roles as Spike the Vampire in television shows like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel. James, thank you so much for joining me. I'm such a huge fan.
I loved your show, by the way, Wednesday.
Oh,
so good.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're amazing.
So much.
Yeah.
I have been watching your interviews throughout the show when it was still airing, and I remember a few interviews there was a reporter that asked you, oh, can you do the Spike accent? And you replied, not unless I'm getting paid.
Yeah.
All right? But I thought just to like turn the tables around, I would do the British accent, and then perhaps at the end of the interview you could tell me, perhaps like as Spike judges Angel, how the accent is to your ears.
No, that's perfect. We can do the whole interview in English accents if you want.
I love that. That was perfect.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. Oh, I love that you're just like a game player.
Why not?
How has your experience at Winnipeg Comic Con been so far?
It's been absolutely fabulous. The people at Winnipeg Con, they know how to do it. You know, I can't do this the whole time.
It's okay.
It's a lie.
I'll do it.
Lie.
I'm getting paid. It's okay.
You
This
do
is
it.
my challenge.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I feel like what I'm trying to do at the table is get people to be a little bit happier when they're leaving than when they came. You know, if I can tell a funny story or get them to smile, then I feel like that's what we're here for. And so I'm a good barometer of what mood they're in when they meet me. And it's not easy to control tens of thousands of people, keep a safe space, and keep them comfortable at the same time. Some cons can either people are a little too comfortable and it's too wild, you know, or people are a little too well controlled and they're just a little bit, you know,
nervous,
not having so much fun. And this is that happy medium where people are really comfortable and having a great time.
I love that. Did you know that we're called Friendly Manitoba here in this province?
Say what?
We're called Friendly Manitoba.
There we go.
Yeah. So I hope that's been your experience.
It very much has. Yeah.
So Buffy has been around for over 20 years, but what I find really cool is that there are new generations that are still resonating with the material and the stories that were told during Buffy and Angel. I was wondering, in your point of view, what is it about this world that was created by you, the cast, the crew, directors, everyone? What is it that keeps audiences thinking that this material is still relevant over 20 years later?
So many things, you know. I am a fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I didn't make it, I was in it, so I get to be a fan if I darn well want to. I'm not bragging. I think it has a really good central message, which is don't give up. Life is not perfect. The world is definitely not perfect, but it's worth it. Keep going. And I just think that's a really useful message and a powerful message. I think that it just makes a world that is delightful to go back to. Like I was an original Star Wars fan, Star Trek fan. Sorry.
Yes.
Way back in the day, you know, like I was going to some of the very first conventions ever back in the 70s, dressed as Spock.
I love that.
Right, and. So I watched those original episodes so many times. I knew all the dialogue. I certainly knew what the plot was. But there was something about that world that I wanted to go back to. And I've later come to realize, I think it was because for Star Trek, the underlying message was hope, which is that we might actually survive this. We might stop trying to dominate each other and start trying to help each other and get over this whole nuclear proliferation, you know, because we really thought back in the 70s that we were all going to blow up in a big thermonuclear conflagration. So that was very powerful, and I wanted that. I wanted a world where people were treating each other nicely, and so I remember on Buffy kind of realizing that we had just heard. This is very early, and we had just heard that people were really wanting to watch the reruns because they were laughing so hard at the jokes the first time they watched it that they were missing the next joke. And so they wanted to watch it again and get all the jokes. And I thought, you know, I wonder, we may be developing a world that is delightful enough that people are going to want to just go back to Sunnydale, even though they know what the plot is and they know what the dialogue is. And I think that's part of it, too.
Love that. And like truly, I think that Spike has one of the most interesting and most life-changing character progressions throughout not just Buffy, but also when you had a stint on Angel as well. I was wondering, is there a lesson that Spike had learned during your time on both of these shows that you have carried with you over the last 2 decades?
No one has ever asked me that before.
Oh, yay.
That's a really good question. I think that redemption is possible, but you have to want it. Redemption is not easy, and so you have to work at it. I guess that's really it. You know, like when I came onto the show, it was explained to me very clearly that vampires were just metaphors for the difficulties that you face in adolescence, in high school. And we vampires are designed to be killed. But that they didn't want to be like Scooby-Doo and kill us off every episode. So we were going to have longer arcs, but we were definitely going to be staked at the end. There was no hope. And I was like, you got it. You know, they were like, you are a soulless vampire. You care for nothing and nobody, and you're going to be killed. And I was like, okay, you got it. And they turned around and I was like, no, I'm going to cheat. Because they told me that I was going to have between 5 and 10 episodes. If they liked it, it was going to go longer. If it didn't work out so well, it was not as long. And I had moved to California from Seattle because I just become a father, and I needed to make money. So I wanted 10, you know? Yeah. And I knew that if I played it the way they told me, that they were going to kill me off pretty quickly. And that I needed to find the love. I needed to find what does Spike love? Because that's where you connect with the audience is if you find love. That's the gold in the mountain, as I say. And it doesn't have to be sweet love, puppy dog love. It can be love betrayed, love twisted, you know. But if you find the love, then you find a way to connect with people. And so I initially went into the love of Drusilla. But what that did is the producers said they were kind of led into re-examining what villains were going to be on the show, and that there was a gray area. My favorite writers really don't have villains. They just have characters that are sometimes hurting each other for the wrong reason. And I think that's more like life. I think that we're all heroes sometimes and we're all villains sometimes. It really depends on the day. And so it kind of pulled toward more complex villains that weren't going to die right away.
Yes, lucky for you.
Thank God. You know, so if you're going to go there, then you have the possibility of redemption. And they'd already been doing that with Angel, and thank God they did it with me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Looking back at both of the series, there's always been, as you know, do we love Buffy and Angel, or do we love Spike and Angel? Do you have
all right,
thoughts
I'm gonna lay it down for you.
Thank
all
you.
right. If Angel and Buffy, you know, I don't even like to think about it, but if they do the thing, you know, Angel goes evil, starts ripping people to pieces. She don't like that, Buffy, I can tell you, you know, from experience. So they start fighting, and it goes, you know, to hell in a handbasket very quickly. So the relationship's just not going to work. So, you know, I'm not going to do that. You know, she and I can have our fun, as we say, and I don't go evil. I'm still, you know, a nice person. So she's mine, Angel. Suck it.
That's better for just the entire world.
Yeah, it just don't make sense. You know, Angel can't have her. It's right in the show. You know, so don't vote. Don't vote for Angel and Buffy. It's just going to cause bedlam.
All right, James, how's my accent so far?
Perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Really
yeah.
appreciate it. All right, back to Canadian.
Yeah.
What I have been dying to ask you for like years now is, do you ever like go through your day and you're doing whatever you do, and just in your mind it just pops up with, "Let me rest in peace"?
No.
No. Just me then, okay. Lying in bed yesterday, I was like, I'm talking to James tomorrow. Let me rest in peace and get some sleep.
No, you know, the songs that are popping through my head are the ones that I'm writing. I'm in a band called Ghost of the Robot, and we're working on our 7th album, and and I'm trying to find a way to sing the songs. It's interesting. You can sing with an original song. There's nobody helping you sing it so that it pops, and you have to find it yourself. Even if you wrote the song, you have to, like, I think I know what I'm doing, and then we go in and put in guitar tracks and drum tracks, and stuff starts to change, and I've got to think about how I'm going to do it, so I'm constantly thinking and humming all of that right now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's fair. Is there a particular song on that album that you really, really like so far?
Yeah, The Greatest Gift.
Oh.
Yeah, about a relationship that crashed and burned, but in hindsight, I'm very glad it crashed and burned because I probably chose the wrong person to begin with.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And so for fans like me that want to hear this album, what are the details on when and where we'll be able to do that?
We are hoping for a Christmas release,
okay,
but we're not going to promise a Christmas release, and I'm not going to even tell you why, because that'll start a fight in the band.
Oh my gosh, okay. Drama everywhere. Well, thank you so much for this, James. Is there anything else you would like to say directly to the fans of our show that are going to be watching this tonight?
Yeah. Oh, wow, tonight?
Yeah.
Okay, too late, guys. You missed the con. But if you really want to... If you want to have a good day and you want to hang out with people who are smart and funny and don't take themselves too seriously, come to a con. Everyone's beautiful, everyone's safe, and you can be whatever you want to be. And it's one of the few places that we still come together in 3 dimensions. We're not online. It's fine to hang out online. That's all great, but it's really good to hang out with people in person. And conventions, we have concerts, we have sports. But we're generally just just looking at the movie screen together, and we don't really talk to each other. But at a con, we really hang out and meet each other, and it's a beautiful place.
That wise words from Spike the Bloody, William the Bloody, James Marsters. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Joanne Roberts, reporting for CityNews in Winnipeg. Thank you.
Good job.